night of fights we had at BKFC 76 in Fort Worth, Texas. It was a great night. Ben Bonner goes in and shocks the world. He takes out Tony Soto via decision to capture the interim lightweight championship belt. And now we're going to have a tournament. And the tournament, don't know the dates, don't know who's going to be in it, but we should talk about this tournament because the tournament is going to determine who the actual champion is. Considering the fact we just had this fight in um, June, I would venture to guess the tournament is going to start probably in August or September. I do know that there is a card already scheduled in there's a card that's going to be scheduled in Hollywood, and I have a feeling that that could very well be a main event or a co-main event fight on that card. Obviously, Bonner is going to be part of this tournament, as BKFC founder David Feldman said that the winner of this fight would be in the tournament, and there makes for a number of great options in this tournament. But I think there's a few clear fighters that should be in the tournament. This is my opinion only. I have no inside information as to if there's even conversations with these people yet. But we already know Ben Bonner is going to be in the tournament. Done deal, signed, sealed, delivered. He is the interim champion. He's coming off of a huge win on last night, and he's going to be part of this tournament. The question now remains, who are the other three guys? And are they going to run this tournament as two fights on the same night? Or are they going to run it as one is a main event or a co-main event of one event, one is a main event or a co-main event another event? Remains to be seen. I would think that you probably want to do it the same night, but you never know how they may do it. It's completely up to them. Ben Bonner, Austin Trout. Austin Trout vacated his welterweight strap, and he decided he's going to fight at lightweight, which was around the weight that he fought as a boxer. So Austin Trout has said that he was told he would have a title shot with his first fight at 155. That being said, we have an interim champion, not a full champion. So that could leave an out for David Feldman to not put Austin Trout against Ben Bonner. However, I do think Austin Trout will be asking for a fight with Bonner to become the interim champion because he said, I'm fighting for the belt next. So if you have Austin Trout there, now you have two more fighters that you need on the opposite side of the draw. Who are those fighters? Who should those fighters be? There's a laundry list of guys that it could be. You got a number of them from Miami off the rip. You have, or South Florida. You have Luis Palomino. You got Howard Davis. You got Brian Duran. You might even have a fighter in there who's not from Miami. Maybe it's under consideration because I know he wants to fight for the 55 strap, but I don't know that he wants to go do it this way. I don't think Kai Stewart, the champion at 45, wants to fight at 55 and get into a tournament to fight for a title. I think he wants to come up and face the champion and try to become the double champion. So I don't know that he would be the right fit for a tournament like this. He'd be more of a conversation after the tournament's done and then have that super fight type of thing. By the way, I don't like super fights. The way I see it, you want to fight for 55, you drop your 45 title. End of story. And I think that's what they would make him do if they were to bring him up and he was to fight at 55. They'd force him to vacate that 45 title. Now all these things are said. Who do I think would be the fight to make for the other side? I think if you don't have Luis Baboon Palomino, the guy who has defended that strap 6 times, the guy who's undefeated in that division at 9-0, the guy who is one of the OGs in BKFC, the guy who never lost his title. Same way Gogo Slavetsky's getting a crack to fight for the title as soon as he's come back into the organization. Baboon fought Howard Davis a few months ago, got the W, and he's looking to fight for a title. He wants an opportunity to get the title back, and it seemed to me it seems right because he never lost the belt. All that said, it's not my decision, but I think any tournament that does not include Luis Palomino is not a legitimate tournament. That's just my feeling. So obviously, I would have Luis Palomino in this tournament, and then that fourth spot, man, it's a question. It's a real question because there's options. There's always options. You have the option of potentially maybe some guy from over in the UFC wants to come on over and be a big name and the whole nine. That's always something that might be of interest. And then you have your in-house guys. It would be a lot easier if Palomino had not just fought Howard Davis. Because if they had not just fought a couple of months ago and Palomino hadn't just gotten the win, I would say your fourth guy is Howard Davis. That wouldn't even be a conversation to me. But with the situation at hand, I'm also looking at it from a perspective of money and eyes and selling tickets and making this a massive event. And you also have in the case of Brian Duran. Duran is fighting obviously next month, and he has a tough fight. He's moving up to 55. I think he's fighting Robbie Peralta, and that's a tough fight. A longtime MMA fighter and Peralta. I think that's going to be a really tough fight for Duran. I don't think it's any cakewalk by any means. I think he's going to get I think he's going to get everything he's asked for, and it's definitely going to be a test for him to go in there and beat a longtime vet, and all that. So I think that's going to be an interesting fight. If Brian Duran is to win that fight in July, I would put in Brian Duran because I know Brian Duran wants to face Luis Palomino. I know they've had their beef. They've had their comments back and forth. And I know that Brian Duran at DBX was interviewed and he talked about it and he said that they've all squashed it and all that stuff. They're all cool. It was a misunderstanding. Cute. This is the fight game. These dudes still have egos. I am still convinced that he wants to fight Palomino. I don't think that Palomino cares so much about that fight. He just cares about fighting for a belt. And I know for a fact because I've talked to Palomino. He only cares about the belt. He doesn't care who has the belt. He wants to fight for the belt. But if you cut him the right check to face Duran, or if it's in this tournament, then he's going to do what he has to do and face Duran. That fight, that's a fight you could put in the Kaseya Center in Miami, legitimately. That's a fight you could put in downtown Miami. Now, do I know that they do it there? I don't know. I'm gonna be real. I love the Hard Rock venue. The Hard Rock venue is an awesome, awesome, awesome venue. Because you walk out, you're in the casino. It's a dope environment. You go to the fucking Kaseya Center, you walk out, you're in the street. I mean, it's like any other regular arena. Obviously the venue's huge. Could they sell 19,000 tickets? It seems like a lot. Especially down here in South Florida, you'd have to really, really stack that card. I know Duran sells tickets big time, and that could be an option. That is so with the four. I mean, I can't think of another guy. Jeremy Stevens devalued himself. He absolutely devalued himself when he went back to the UFC and got the shit kicked out of him. Bluntly. Like you can't, he made that call. He comes off the biggest damn win of his life. He beats Eddie Alvarez in Philly. He's got all this cachet he's built in now. And he decides, I'm going to go fight in the UFC again and get his fucking ass kicked. Like there's a reason that organizations don't want guys to go fight in other organizations. It's too risky. And so I don't know that he's the right option. I don't know that he's the right option. I really think that you got to use guys that are in your house, man. And I think realistically, and there are people that are going to disagree with me, I think a matchup between Palomino and Duran would be absolutely box office. And then you have the two winners of the two fights. They meet somewhere. Maybe they meet in Knucklemania. Dare I say? Maybe this is a situation. Keep in mind that Bonner got busted up pretty good. He's going to be sitting and chilling for probably a couple of months. So maybe you have a situation where Bonner faces Trout in October, and then Palomino faces Duran. And this is obviously presuming that Duran wins in July, but Palomino faces Duran, and you have these guys meet up at Knucklemania. Whenever the next Knucklemania is, they go do this thing in Knucklemania. Those are my thoughts. I'd love to see it. I know Dave Feldman and BKFC can make this a big thing. It'd be pretty damn dope. I think those fights also have to be in this country, all of them. I love the overseas stuff, but I don't know that the BKFC is. I think the BKFC needs guys who fight overseas to really be from overseas for the most part. There has to be some overseas component to it, and yeah, I think that these fights have to be here because here on top of that, for Ben Bonner's sake, he's a British guy, and you want him to get some name recognition in the States. That's really, really important for him, and him fighting Austin Trout should be in this country. So my opinion, Ben Bonner, Austin Trout, Baboon Palomino, Brian Duran. Let's go, man. But I'm not the promoter. Those are just my thoughts. What do you think? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave a comment. This is Combat Corner, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.
Up and down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. Up and down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet. I'm